school press conference with Philadelphia Union head coach Jim Curtin and Quinn Sullivan. Coach and Quinn, both of you are participating once again for the third place matchup, and a spot is on the line for CONCACAF Champions Cup for next year. How is the group feeling?
Yeah, look, obviously we're disappointed not to get to the final. That was the ultimate goal. We were beat by a very good Columbus Crew team. We have to regroup quickly now and in our own building in Subaru Park, put on a good performance for our fans and get that Champions League berth. So while it is disappointing and it's hard, I think the group will recover quickly and put on a good performance tomorrow.
Yeah, look, we know how important it is to play in the Champions League. We're experienced in that competition at this point in time. We know how important it is. We enjoy those battles against some international competition, and it's all to play for in the third place match, and we're excited and we're up for it.
Hi, Jim. With Danley making his debut against Columbus, how would you assess his performance, including his close-down speed on Cucho?
Yeah, so I think you saw a glimpse of what Danley brings. Whether we're in the lead, defending a lead, or coming in at the end to help close out a game in the future. Danley is going to be a guy that works his way into fitness, works his way into the starting group at some point here soon. But you saw his ability to win balls, cover ground. His athleticism is on display every training session. I think you saw that against the Crew after a unique start where he has the collision with Jacob, for sure. I think he settled in nicely, did his job. But obviously he would trade any performance for a win. But I think you start to see the reason we scouted him, the reason he fits Philadelphia, and I think he's going to have a really bright career here in Philadelphia.
You've spoken about in the past how it's difficult when you guys bring in new players and you guys play so many games in a consecutive week. How do you go about acclimating Danley, who he's new to the league, new to the team?
Yeah, so look, he's played in French League One, so it's not going to be too much of a surprise for him. The level, whether it's Columbus, whether it's Miami in the future, whether it's Colorado tomorrow. He's played against PSG, so he can adapt and adjust to the level pretty quickly. The one thing to be said is he is still in his probably second to third week of preseason, really. During the transfer rumors that he was surrounded, that were going on with him, he had a pretty long layoff, so he is building fitness. He's certainly a player, I think you guys saw, that enjoys running and closing the ball down. Having said that, though, it takes time now to build that fitness so you can do that for 90 minutes. So I think he's getting closer to that. Not quite there yet, but he'll certainly play a role in tomorrow's game, and you'll see those minutes start to accumulate as we have so many games. We have a quick turnaround, 2 days. We play Columbus, and then quickly in a rivalry game against Red Bull, and then we get a 2-week break.
You guys see him more as an 8 or a 6, or?
Yeah, that's still he can do both. Again, we'll have to adjust and adapt in Jose's absence, who was a guy that kind of did the lone 6 for a lot of years. Leon can do that. Chuchu can do that. Danley can do that. So we'll have to find the best combination, and I think week to week it'll change, but he certainly can play right side of the diamond, left side of the diamond. He can play with 2 6s. He can play by himself as a 6. So I think that'll be a opponent-based decision and what the team needs in that week.
Keegan Rosenberry comes back home to Subaru Park this weekend. Can you share your thoughts on him as a player, how he helped the team transition to what it is now, and how he helped you grow as a manager? Yeah,
it says a lot to Keegan and his quality that Chris Armas chose him as his captain. I think that tells you everything. Chris was an incredible player in our league. He was the best captain I ever played with and was a great leader when I played with him in Chicago. So for him to choose Keegan speaks to Keegan's character. He's had an incredible career for himself, being an all-star this year. Really solid player, one that we had some good memories with here in Philadelphia. You see players like him, players like Austin Trusty and Mark McKenzie and all the guys that are now climbing the ranks in their respective parts of their career. It'll be good to see him tomorrow, but during the 90 minutes, obviously, I'm sure we'll have a handshake before the game, but once the game starts, we both want the same thing, and that's that third place in Champions League spot.
Quinn, you're sitting up there, so I'll give you a question. You've talked about how you play anywhere on the field for Jim and the team, but you said you feel most comfortable playing as an 8 on the right side of the diamond. How difficult is it where you might not be training all the time as a striker up there, whether it be with Mikel, Julian when he was here, with Ty? How do you go about making those adjustments?
Yeah, look, obviously I've built a good relationship with all the strikers on the team, wanting to assist them and play make with them. And there still is that relationship when you're playing 8 to striker. It's a little different when I'm playing striker. But in terms of, comfortability, I think I'm comfortable going up there and playing striker. I've had practice with it. Obviously, last season played mostly striker. So, playing with Mikel up there last game, I felt comfortable. Obviously, it's a little bit of a switch when you do it. When you change from 8 to striker, whether it's in the game or starting there. But for the most part, I feel comfortable up there. Not as comfortable as I do at the 8, but still comfortable.
And then Jim, going with Quinn up top, what went into that decision last game over a natural striker like Chris or like Sam?
Yeah, look, every game is different. Quinn has made some big plays for us this year. He's one of our leaders in minutes played, so he's always earned the right to get those minutes. And he has 5 goals and 9 assists, so he makes plays. So, I saw you throw out the statistic, and statistics are always great with zero context. But if you flashed up everybody's record this year when they play certain positions, it's going to be poor. So that's one thing I'd say there. But without the context of who's in goal, without the context of the opponent, who's available, who's suspended, who's on international duty, statistics become very flimsy and can paint any picture you want. So Quinn's a great player. He's had a great season for us. I'm proud of the work that he's done. It isn't easy to go and change spots, but I think the good players are soccer players, and they can solve any problem, whether I put him on the right, the left, striker, winger. He could probably play right back if we needed him to. So that's a good quality, and that will help him now as he continues to do well for us, but then also I think he can play in Europe. So again, this will get him prepared for the different things that come up. Not many teams play in a diamond anyway, so the side of the diamond in an 8 is a unique position that he might not see anywhere else in his career moving forward. So I still think there's things he can do as a striker where he comes off and receives the ball as a 10. He floats out wide to the right where he can go 1v1 and isolate a guy. So there's still little things that I think he's learning, and I think this is helping his game as much as he's not a target number 9, right? I think we would all agree with that, but every game needs a different part of the game, with the ball, without the ball, the transitions, and Quinn's had a really good season for us. And the context of if you do just wins and losses on guys, it's not going to look good for anybody this year when they play certain spots.
For Quinn and Jim, you can comment on this too. Describe the importance of securing a CCC berth to you and what that would mean to the club.
Yeah, look, I mentioned it a little bit already, but it's an amazing competition to be a part of. It's probably the highest competition that we could play. The intensity in those games are immense, and it's great to my debut was in the CCC, so it's special to me, especially because that's where I started my first team career. As a team, we love the competition. We know how important it is to do well in that competition, and I think we know that we can go a little further and take the next step. And if we get that the 3rd place tomorrow, we know we'll have another opportunity to do that.
Yeah, and I would just add, I think we all have the context of what Champions League means in Europe, right? It's the ultimate. It's the highest prize, the highest competition, and the mindset of the fans, whether they're American or from Europe, is Champions League means something more. I still think that's a growing mentality in our country. Back from when I was a player, I remember even playing in Champions League games that I didn't even know what competition I was in as I graduated from Villanova. So the mindset now, it's growing, and we're starting to understand what it means, but it still doesn't have the same feel and how important the accomplishment is to play at the highest level. I think they have it, Liga MX. I think they understand it in their fan base. Whereas, when I talk to my friends that are American football fans that are maybe casual soccer fans, they kind of are confused when we're playing a team from Honduras in the middle of our season started, and wait, why are you going down there? They don't fully get that it is the same competition that Europe has. Obviously, the quality is a little different, but you know what I mean. We haven't gotten there yet, and that's a mindset and a time thing. I think it's growing, getting stronger, and people are understanding it more, but there's still another level of how hard it is to get there and then to win.
You guys have played 3 games in the next 6 days. You guys have played 3 games in 7 days. Is there much difference losing that extra day of preparation?
Yes, yeah. The extra day is huge. Not even for preparation; it's for recovery. These guys have basically been play, recover. There's only so much you can do physically on the field. It's really demanding what we ask them to do in hot weather during these summer months. And tomorrow 4:30 kickoff doesn't do us any favors, so it'll be about 86 degrees for us. And their recovery and sleep and eating right is I hate to say it, but is more important than anything we can do on the training field, whether it's with myself, whether Chris Armas would say the same thing. It's just it's about recovery at this stage and going again. Obviously, there's scouting, preparation, film, all those things still matter a great deal. But when you have this many games in quick succession, the hardest thing is to keep the reserves going and keep them positive. But the starters are literally, it's play, recover. That's how it is at the highest level in Europe too. So we have to deal with that and adjust.
I guess the both of you, I'll go to Quinn first. You look at Mark McKenzie making that transfer to League One, and then Brendan Aaronson's off to a hot start with Leeds United. How much of a motivation is that for you as a player to see that those guys are playing at that level? Does that make you extra motivated to get to that level, knowing you play with them, that you can ultimately play there? And then Jim, as a coach, just seeing Mark and make that big move than the season that Brendan's having so far.
Yeah, look, it's great to see our future. Our past products kind of take the next step. Obviously, have a relationship with those guys, so it's great for them. Happy to see, and look, the motivation. It's great to see that, and the motivation more comes from within for me. I can't speak for the rest of the homegrowns, but it's really great to see everyone doing well. You want all the former Philadelphia Union guys to do well, unless you're playing against them. But for me, the motivation comes from within, and I have those motivations as well. So, just continuing to push this season and improve on how I've been playing. But yeah, no, it's great for those guys.
Yeah, I think again, the guy to the left of me here, Quinn will be playing in Europe, I think, very shortly. To see Mark get an opportunity now to go to French League One, I had a great conversation while there was rumors around him going to Germany, Italy, all over England. And the Toulouse sporting director reached out, and I gave about as glowing of a review as I possibly could. And I think they did an amazing signing because Mark's going to go there and be great for them. To see Brendan score the 2 big goals yesterday after maybe just some adversity in and around his loans and different things like that, to go back and do his talking on the field is the best way. It always is. So really proud of Brendan for that, and to see Austin involved now, maybe in some Celtic transfer rumors at a top club like that. So it's good. It speaks to the fact that we've done some good work here. We still have to do a lot more and get better and better, but it's really exciting to see those guys rise in the top leagues in Europe.
And with that, we'd like to conclude today's press conference. Thank you very much, Jim and Quinn, and good luck in tomorrow's matchup.
Thank you.
And just a reminder for those in the room and on Zoom that Colorado Rapids press conference will begin at 10:45 a.m.